Grace and peace. I wanted to get on here and talk about discouragement and retaliatory spirits when you are walking in your purpose. And so a lot of times this is actually what happens to God's people. And a lot of people that are called to do ministry, they end up giving up on ministry because I remember when I first started doing like ministry, I remember women reaching out to me and just leaving comments and saying that doing this type of ministry is very difficult, it's very challenging, the people. And so as I began to journey with God and realize that, this is going to be a very difficult walk, I stumbled across, well, I didn't stumble, I was actually reading the book of Mark. And so it was very, I guess you can say, inspiring for me. And I'm going to just quickly summarize what Jesus talked about. And I talked about this in another video a few days ago, was basically that Jesus said that prophets are not honored in their own hometown. One of the things that was highlighted was those people in Jesus's hometown of Nazareth, they had so much unbelief. They scoffed at him and they were deeply offended. This was in the first paragraph of Mark 6. Okay, so yesterday I started discipleship class, and I'm basically running like a trial to get to test the spirits of every person to see if these people will be qualified, and things of the sort. So yesterday was pretty intense, very intense, I might add. When it was all said and done, I asked every person to actually email me and summarize everything that happened throughout the day. What were they rebuked on? Things like that, right? I also told them to give me examples of scriptures that they are going to meditate on at morning and night. And it could be scriptures of your leisure, right? So there was a particular witch by the name of Carmen, okay? And so she thought she was crafty. She thought she was slick. There's a lot of monitoring spirits that are emailing me, people from mentees. Just, because it's like when I try to tell y'all that I know a lot of y'all don't like me, what y'all try to do is gaslight me and use reverse psychology. Girl, ain't nobody thinking about you, and you think everybody jealous of you. I've never said I think everybody jealous of me. But I want to discuss her specifically and expose how toxic she is. Now I'm going to pull up some of her PayPals. She says, "Hi, Apostle Genesis. This is Radiant Son Carmen." That name is even off. God told me to pour into you. Really? He told you to pour into me because I'm learning so much from you through him. I also got a job from watching your video. I would love to be in your discipleship class. So when I asked everybody to summarize their experience, this is what she chose to say. "Blessing Apostle, today was scary. But listen, yes, so fulfilling to be broken from the bondage and weight I've been carrying, thinking I was healed, saved, and delivered. I can now look partially at myself for not fighting and surrendering, even though there's more to the uncovering process before the healing can begin. But it's not how to start, it's how you finish." She really has a hard time just writing complete sentences and stuff like that. So I told them to give me scriptures for morning and night. You can clearly see that there's no scriptures here. Okay? No scriptures. I want to highlight something she said. You go down right here where it says speedily in the course of heaven. Her prayers don't hit the roof of her build of her walls where in her room. She says, "God's judgment to be released in the Egyptians I see today, I will not see forevermore." Why are you talking about Egyptian stuff? Why is this even mentioned? It makes literally no. So I'm not gonna pull up some of the back and forth because she mentioned James Kawaya. I say it's very interesting that you bring in James Kawaya up. When I asked you to send me an email and a summary of all the things that was discussed today, the rebukes, the things that I told you, one of those things that was highlighted was sodomy, and that she basically had allowed men, really big sized men, to go in her behind there, and it's like ripped up back there really bad, to the point where she has actually had hemorrhoids. Okay. And so we were on a Zoom yesterday. So those Zooms are recorded, the chats recorded, all the stuff they repented for. So she could never play with my name. She turns around and send me an email and tell me that I'm using tarot cards. She used tarot cards. A lady told her she's going to meet the love of her life. And that's why she believes in tarot cards, because she's incredibly desperate for a man, which she repented for that as well. Okay. And so I told her, I said, it's funny, you're talking about James Kawaya, but James Kawaya did not sit on a Zoom with you for 5 hours and expose the sodomy and all the things that you need to work on. She responded and said, that's right. I got receipts for that. Okay. But I want you all to actually take a look at her response to me, because she been sitting up thinking about all this stuff since yesterday, because these people are really crazy, literally. I don't know why I cut out. She said, "Girl, you jealous of anyone attractive." I don't know where she got this from. "And you been done worse than anyone. You did terror on doing those breaks and want people to glorify you. Never. Baby, you been dogged and ran through the streets and women brought up in your face. And because you were a Pillsbury dough man, you took it and still getting dogged and taking it out on people because you scared of your oppressor." She said, "I'm still getting dogged." By who? This is absolutely insane. Let's keep going. Who moved on, and they both sitting back and laughing at who you pretending to be. So she's referring to my ex-husband and the woman that he's with. So she says that who you're pretending to be. She said you've been in threesomes and loose boots in the back and have. She basically trying to say that I have like tendencies of being with the same sex. It's all over your billboard receiving hairline. And then she says, pipe down, mister, and repent and sit on a red couch to get therapy of what is destroying you. Move on. My relationships are businessmen. So I called her out for actually giving men money. She agreed to that as well. That's recorded. She actually repented for that, right? All this happened yesterday, and this was her response today, right? So all of this happened yesterday. She said, "Move on." She can't. She actually she seems illiterate. Relationships are businessmen, and I give money, but sour face, I got more out of it. She's basically trying to say she got more out of it because she messed with businessmen. Because I called her out on the desperation that she has had for men. She said, "I got more out of it, and I repented." Married men don't tell women they're married, just like your husband probably didn't tell his bae. So that's how that happened. Then she says you try to manipulate people to come in agreement with bondage. She said you can't break me, mister. She said you want to be relevant because you're walked on. She telling me I want to be relevant, and this is a. I would love to be in your discipleship class. This is the same person that said this to me. I would love to be in your discipleship class. This came from her. I'm going to end with this. Jesus left that part out of the country and returned with his disciples to Nazareth, his hometown. The next Sabbath, he began teaching in the synagogue. And then it says, and many who heard him were amazed. They asked, where did he get all this wisdom and the power to perform such miracles? Then they scoffed. He's just a carpenter, the son of Mary, and a brother James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon, and his sisters live right here among us. They were deeply offended and refused to believe in him. And then it goes down to say, and because of their unbelief, he couldn't do any miracles among them except to place his hands on a few sick people. And now, what is this designed to do? So hell is very angry at me for a lot of reasons. July was an incredibly and powerful, impactful month for me. Okay. And I can't begin to talk about how much ground has been broken in the spirit realm. And so these types of things are meant to discourage you and make you feel like you're out of place. She can't attack my character, nor can she attack my appearance or anything like that. Okay. And so there's a plethora of things that I could have went with this. I decided to take it this route because this is how I know I am doing the very thing that God has called me to do. And I pray that this message bless you. I pray that this message encourages you to pick up your cross and follow God, because you will definitely suffer for his name's sake. But please understand, every word that proceeded out of her mouth, she is going to regret. In Jesus' mighty